I think I was waiting for a signal to start, but we're going to get started right away. And welcome to this session at the beginning of the year. I'm sure it's going to be a great year. And I just want to welcome you if you're a guest and if you're a distributor. I want to tell you you're at the right place at the right time. And I'll just introduce myself before we go into the main session. My name is Margaret Amulavu. I am based in Nairobi, Kenya. And before this business of health and wellness, I work for an international bank. And after working for this bank for 8.5 years, I chose to resign. And people wonder, how can you resign from a bank job, especially? Because people have got ideas and they've got their perceptions of what a bank job is. But for me, after working for 8.5 years, I resigned because one day I got home and our son was 3 years. He said, "Mommy does not come home." And that really concerned me. And it was true. He hadn't seen me for 3 days because at that time, the bank was in transition. We're moving from manual records to computer. And so the earliest I actually got home was midnight. And so my son at 3 years thought his mother does not come home. So I found myself with a job of 5 people, the retrenched people, they asked some to go for early retirement. And so I found myself with, I had a portfolio of 300 people. I used to do staff loans. And so the earliest I actually got home was midnight, and they made it comfortable. They gave me a vehicle to take me home. They bought me dinner, and they even paid overtime. In fact, the overtime was more money than my salary. So such a job was very difficult to leave. The other thing is that I come from a very mixed background. My father is a Kenyan, my mother is a Malawian, and then I'm married to somebody from Western Kenya. And so I just thought that if my in-laws had this story of me not coming home, they might think that I'm as mixed in my life as I am in my background. And with those two reasons, in 1996, I remember at 30th September at 3 p.m., I wrote my resignation letter. By then I'd gotten a second child. And she was about 6 months old. And I decided, you know what, I need to leave this job. And so I resigned. And I always thank God that I went to the bank, because that's where I met my husband, Charles, a very supportive man, because a normal man should have thrown me out. Because at the time I left, we had a house mortgage. We had a car loan. Our son was 5 years and going to school. And I'd gotten a new baby and she was 6 months old. And there I was telling him how I'm leaving the bank. And on the day I decided to resign, I actually didn't consult anybody, not even my parents, not my brothers and sisters, not even a friend, because I was made up my mind that I need to leave this job. Because one of the challenges I used to get is that I was forever tired. I was so tired that in the house we bought at somewhere in Komarok, I could not go upstairs. Because if I went upstairs, I would have to stay up. And if I'm down, I'm down. So I had chronic fatigue. And it didn't matter how long I rested, I was still a very, very tired person. The other challenge is that I didn't have time for my children. And for me, that was very key, because I grew up with a mother who was at home. And I remember my mother only went to work when we got a set of twins who are our last ones. And I think that was a financial burden for my dad. So my mom had to go and work. And so I grew up with a mom at home, and I could see we are different from the other children in the estate. And so I felt that I needed to be home for my children to bring them up. And also I knew that with parenthood, you cannot postpone the growth of children. I could postpone my career and maybe pick it up later, but I knew that once my children's lives are messed up, then that would be the end of it. And then I also didn't want to come home. You know, there are some of us parents, when the house help goes off, the children cry. But when you go away, they say, "Mommy, bye." And you're wondering, so who is the parent here? I didn't want that kind of thing to happen. So I needed to be at home with my children for whatever period of time that I needed to be. And so I decided to leave. So exactly a year after I left the bank, a friend of mine who was a neighbor, she had reached retirement age. She told me one day, there's a business you can do from town. You'll be able to earn foreign currency and you'll be able to travel. The bit of foreign currency and traveling I knew was a lie, because I couldn't see where what you do in a house and travel. I'm thinking of making beds, cooking, cleaning up. And I'm thinking, how does that add up to a ticket? And then the thing of foreign currency in my days, even when we're in the bank, you needed special authority to even have foreign currency. In fact, you used to apply to central bank. And if you went out of the country and came back with foreign currency, you needed to declare at the airport and how much you have come back with. So I couldn't see where this international currency was going to come from. But because I'd gotten tired of asking for my husband money, he had found me working. So the idea of always asking him for money every other day for me was a little bit not so good. I didn't like it. And so this friend of mine invited me. She made it comfortable. She picked me one day from the house and brought me to town. And I'll never forget that day. It was the 9th of May, 1997. That day is so significant for me because I can tell you what I had that night totally transformed my life. And today I can say I'm a living testimony that what we are going to share actually works, because this is going to be my 25th year doing what I am doing, what I will try and share with us this evening. And so I have no doubt, no shadow of doubt that what we do is real. It is something that will change our lives. And I can say for sure that if you're here for the first time, or if you're a distributor, please take what we are saying very seriously, because I can assure you this is something that is life transforming. And of course, we deal with products. And today I want to talk about our weight management program. And I call it weight management because you can add weight and you can also reduce weight. I have actually done both. I've added weight with the program and I have also reduced. My recent testimony is on reduction. The photo that Pierre Rose and Karaoke shared on your walls, that is my very recent photo as late as 2 weeks ago, the one I've after. So I've used it both ways to reduce and to increase weight. And so today I'm going to try and share with you as I go on with my story. And I want to say that the products that we sell are exclusive. I mean, there is nothing like what we sell. And as we go along, you'll understand why. So please allow me to share my screen. That boy was 3 years, turns 30 this year. And we've got a younger one. Our youngest is now 20. So it has been an amazing time to just bring them up and be there for them. So I've enjoyed being a homestay mom, but not a broke one. Because in as much as we want to stay at home, we also want to contribute to the family. And so I'll share my story as I go along. So allow me to share my screen, and then we'll be able to move from there. Let me just, all right. Are you able to see my screen? Can somebody just tell me if they're able to see my screen? Are you able to see my screen, Reverend Malusi?
Yes, Margaret,
Dr. Malusi there? You're able to see my screen?
Yes, we are.
Okay, thank you very much. So I'm just talking about that weight management. And so I want to go right away and say that weight is actually, we're in a company known as Neolife. And then the aim of Neolife is to make the world a healthier and a happier place. And we're just saying it's time to reverse the trends. We know that these diseases like what I have there, heart disease, cancer, diabetes, stroke, chronic respiratory diseases, and obesity, these are things that are there. But this company, more than 50 years ago, they're predicted by 2020, these diseases, 3 out of every 4 deaths will actually happen because of these diseases. So if you have 4 people in the house, we're saying 3 of you could die out of these. And that is very, very high statistic. And this was by 2020. We're already in 2022, and this has happened over and over again. So we are not even at a space of talking, can it happen? We are saying it is actually here. But we are saying with the company that we have, we can reverse these trends of chronic diseases and make the world a healthier and a happier place. Now, a lot of the health challenges we have got to do with our lifestyle or how we live. And we are saying for you to be healthy, you need 3 things. Number 1, you need to exercise. And we are saying exercise, you need to do it 3 to 4 times at least 3 times a week, 15, 20 minutes. And when we say exercise, we are not saying go to the gym. We're just saying you can use a flight of staircase instead of the lift. If you're going by matatu or public means, you can alight 2 stages before the stage you're supposed to alight. You can use a skipping rope to be able to do that. Or you can even dance. There are some people dancing is what they like. You do what you're comfortable with. Because even dancing, if you look at especially the young people, the activities they're doing, man, by the time you finish, you'll realize you have actually exercised. So 3 times a week, you at least need to exercise. Then the other thing you need to do is rest. We are saying for rest, you need at least 6 to 8 hours. And with the modern life that we have of WhatsApp and the social media, especially the young people, they're hardly sleeping. It's like at night is when they're doing things. And the companies that are providing us with data have made it easier. I don't know if you're aware that at night, the data is cheaper than when during the day. So it means people are actually not sleeping. They're actually waiting for the night to be able to use cheaper data. So it means we are not resting enough. And when you don't rest enough, there are some body functions that will not work. Your mind doesn't work as well. Your thinking and how you process things and your interpretation can be wrong. And that can be told a lot by the transport, especially in Kenya, where most of the accidents happen at night, because the concentration and alertness is not there if you have not rested enough. And then there are some body functions that only take place at night when you rest. So if you don't rest, you're compromising a lot on your system, including your immunity, including actually weight. If you're not sleeping well, weight is bound to come. That's how serious it is that you must rest. And then diet. We are saying that what you eat or fail to eat can break or make us. And so we are saying that I know people understand exercise, they have no issue, they understand resting, but this thing of diet, most of us do not understand, because even when we are unwell, we go to a doctor and they tell you, make sure you eat a balanced diet, but they don't break it down to the level you can understand what do they mean by a balanced diet. And so we are saying that there are some dietary factors that we need to be aware of. that 95% of people in the world eat food that lacks nutrition. In other words, we are an overfed society, but undernourished. We just eat to get full, not even to get satisfied. You know, when you eat to get satisfied, you just eat just enough. When you're filled up, you feel okay. But when we get full, you eat until there's no more space in your stomach. And then 75% of people in the world are also deliberately consuming incorrect foods. That means that there are foods we know are dangerous, they are harmful to us, like the fast foods and the soft drinks, but we still take them. It's like we're not aware, but we know very well that that is not going to help us, but we still take them. And now because of that, we have got what we call our health status. And most of us up to about 20 are very vibrant. And this is very true of young children from 3-4 years. They can play the whole day. They can actually literally play the whole day, and at night they still have endless energy. So till about 20 are very vibrant, no health challenges, there's nothing you cannot do. I remember some of us when you're younger, you'd go out and maybe go for even like a kesha or overnight prayers, or even go out dancing, and you'd come home, sleep for 2 hours, and you're off again. It's like you really have this endless energy. Then by the time you're reaching about 30, 25 to 30, 40, there you start getting tired. And there are a few people who just hear me, I'm just tired. I am just tired. I'm not sick, but I am tired, totally exhausted, chronic fatigue. And then from there, when we get to 45, 50, 60, 70, 80, we are sick. And we are thinking that's a normal trend because that's how our life is. So we are saying, imagine if you're only vibrant till 20 and your life expectancy is 80. So it means for the next 60 years, you're actually in the sick and tired zone, which means you're not going to accomplish much. And I think that's why most people are scared of this aging, because they've seen old people almost become, they're not very much contributing to society. And so we are scared of getting old, but we are saying we can reverse this by what we eat. And so we are saying that there's what is called a healthy food pyramid. In other words, how should you eat so that you're healthy? Right at the bottom, we are saying you need to do what we call weight management, and you need to do daily exercise. For weight management, you need to know something called your BMI. And BMI is body mass index. At your height, you're supposed to be certain kilos. So if you're below index 18, you're underweight. If you're above index 25, you're already overweight and on. And then 40% of your food needs to be whole grains. Whole grains are usually brown in color, not very tasty, but you fill up with very little amount. Things like wholemeal bread, not brown bread. Wholemeal bread, you can take just 3 to 4 pieces and you're very full. And how do you know what's the difference between a wholemeal bread and a brown bread? The price of a wholemeal bread is about 3 times the cost of a normal bread. So if you find the price of brown bread is the same as white, that is just color, it is not wholemeal. And then 30% of your diet needs to be fruits and vegetables. And when we're talking fruits and vegetables, we are saying you need to eat 6 to 9 different colors of fruits and vegetables. And you know, most of us eat just the fruit that is there. The part of Kenya where my dad comes from, like now it's like mango season. And you hear somebody saying, I ate 10 fruits. It is not 10 fruits, it is 10 mangoes. It is still a mango, but they're thinking those are a number of fruits. So we're saying you need to look at the colors, 6 to 9 colors, because they'll give you immunity. And then for protein, 20 grams, 20%, especially red meat. So that quantity of 250 grams, 250 kilos, 250 grams actually, if you divide by 20 grams, you need to eat 12 people and a child. So that means 3 to 4 pieces only. But here in Kenya, I know a kilo is just for 1 person in some parts of this country. And then for fats and sugars, we are just saying 10%, because all the way from when you started eating whole grains to the fruits, to the protein, all of them have got some sugar. So the refined sugar, you need very little. In fact, when we say 10%, we are saying don't do more than 2 teaspoons in a day in your tea. And again, I say, like we're married in Western, we've got a very special cup. If there's a Louis on the session, they call it risuvira. It is a big cup for tea, and you can put as much as even 6 teaspoons in one. So some of us could be consuming a 1/4 kg of sugar in the name of taking tea. So we are saying this is how we are supposed to eat. But you know what we've done? We've turned that upside down. And I know you relate with what is on the left, that everything we are eating is sugar. So instead of the one we should do the least, we are eating the most. So anytime you take anything white rice, white bread, white ugali, white chapati, all that converts to sugar. In school, we used to call them simple sugars or glucose. It just becomes glucose. Your body does not know you've eaten. And then for protein, especially red meat, there are people who eat it every single day, maybe even twice in a day. And so when you take protein, especially the red meat, it does not digest, it actually rots. And it takes about 3 days. And in the process of rotting, it produces something we call acid. Now, the sugar from the white food and the acid produced by that protein is what gives you the cancer cells, the growth. We all have cancer cells, but they're not active. But when we eat the wrong food, we feed them. then for fruits and vegetables, oh, those must be for sick people and children. And I remember at one time, men also thought it is only women who can eat fruits, although these days they're catching up with us. So we are saying we are not eating fruits and vegetables. And if you are in Kenya especially, there is no major hospital that does not have fruits outside the hospital and juices. You will just find there. So when people are sick, we know we take them the right food. When they get out, we give them all the other things. Then whole grain, when people see you eating brown food, they know you're really sick, something is wrong. And so you have been on a recommended diet, and that's why you're eating brown food. And then for exercise and weight control, some of us have no idea what BMI is. Maybe somebody on the chat could just tell me, do you know what your BMI is? Have you ever checked? And then daily exercise in Kenya, we are saying we are not Kipchoge, there are no presents to be won. So what business do I have to do with exercising? So most of us are not doing anything. But we're saying Your Life Company, because of the gap that is there, then we need to do what we call supplementation. And supplementation is not a new thing. And I want to tell you, people have always supplemented, but they have been giving it to animals. I don't know if there is any farmer on the call, because we usually give the lick to the cow. And even chicken, you've got even vitamins for chicken and even for the cows. Can you imagine you can give vitamins and supplements to cows and you're not doing anything about it yourself? And because we've taken care more of the cows, I want you to tell me how many animal hospitals you know around. But human beings, we are getting more and more developed, but we are getting sicker and sicker because we are really changing our diet. So we are saying there's a gap between what you're eating and what you're supposed to eat. So this company, Neolife, gives us what we call whole food supplements, actually whole food. And I just want to tell you that there are different types of supplements. There are actually 3. There is synthetic. Synthetic is done in the lab and your body cannot work with it. And if you use synthetic, you're going to damage your kidney and your liver. And so most doctors, if they hear you're on a supplement, they refuse you to take it because in their minds, there are no natural supplements. They just know the ones done in the lab. Then we've got what we call organic. Organic has got a bit of the natural thing and a bit of the synthetic, not very good for your body. Then finally, we've got what we call whole food. Whole food supplements work exactly how food would have worked in your system. And so Neolife, using their scientific knowledge of making medicine, because we've got all the levels of professionals, from doctors to nutritionists, to name them, to pharmacists, we have them. Then a board called the Scientific Advisory Board. So using the information or knowledge of making medicine, they make these products. So they have put food in a tablet or a capsule for ease of consumption and for it to be able to go to as many people as possible. Because if you just think of a fruit, even if you carry it 3 days, it's already gone bad. And so we are saying that with these products, you're able to carry them far and you're also able to have some things that are not within our country. So this is our basic pack called Pro Vitality. And when you start taking Pro Vitality, you're going to realize a few things happen. So Pro Vitality has got 4 products. And when I'm starting from my extreme left, the green one is Trienen. Trienen is just a whole grain product. It means 3 in 1. It has wheat, rice, and soya. And that's actually the product that's got the whole grains. Then the second one is carotenoid for fruits and vegetables. And carotenoid is very, very exclusive to Neolife. It took 17 years of research to develop this product. It's the only immune booster in the world. It is patented to Neolife. Patention means nobody else can produce it because of how much time they put in. It is also anti-aging. It reduces your cells aging process by 44%. That's almost half. I know that's very good news for the ladies. You want to look 18 all our years. And so if you're looking for an anti-aging product, that is it. It also helps you not get cataracts. These people are going to be peeled some things in their eyes. You don't need to. You can use that product and it will sort you out. The other thing, it helps with the heart function because it stops oxidation of cholesterol. Because when you get cholesterol in the veins because of eating wrongly, then it gets oxidized and so it gives you problems with clots and what have you. So carotenoid are very, very exclusive product. I cannot begin to finish talking about it. It is one of the things you must just have. And another thing, it is also anti-cancer. So as long as you're on this carotenoid, you can be sure, especially hormonal cancers will be a thing of the past. And a container of 90 capsules of carotenoid has 115 kilos of fruits and vegetables and 7 different types of them. And then the next one is omega-3. Omega-3 here is our salmon oil plus. And I know people here, there is omega. Some ask, why can't I give the cod liver oil? Isn't it the same thing as this omega of yours? And I want to tell you no, because a proper omega should have 8 molecules. The ones in the shop have 2. If you go and read, you're going to see EPA and DHA. Those are only 2. Ours has got all the 8. And you taking one that is not properly formulated is just as good as throwing your money into an endless pit. So the salmon oil helps to protect the heart, control cholesterol, control high blood pressure, helps with joints, brain function, excellent for the brain. In fact, this particular product, the omega-3, I started giving my daughter at 3 days old. She's turning 20 this year, and I've given this product to her every day. I was doing my own experiments to make sure that it works. And children on this product, their reasoning is different. They've got very good memory. When they do something, they concentrate. And even their behavior is very, very different. And their reasoning is just on another level. And then we've got the final product, which is a multivite. And so these products together are packed in something we call Pro Vitality. So if you forget any other thing I might have said, just remember Pro Vitality. So, and then for the protein, we've got something we call the Neolife Shake, a protein drink. And that protein drink work is to help. So this 3NN's work is to help sort out your cells. So for example, if you're eating the wrong pyramid, the wrong way, your cells are like the left. So very little food goes in, little waste comes out. So how do you know? You get very tired and you don't go for a long call. And I know people are not worried when they don't go for a long call. You see very many people going to a doctor and saying, my child is not feeding well, but you're not worried when you're not removing the same toxins, because that's actually very, very dangerous, because where are those toxins going? That's so 3NN will sort you out on that. And 3-4 days after taking 3NN, your energy levels are very good. They're on another level. You sleep well. You might find you feed a little bit more because food utilization is better. Food utilization just means the food you're eating is more useful in your body. And so you find that you get a little bit more hungry. And by the time you do a month, your face really, really clears. And so we are saying that Pro Vitality is that's what it has. It has a whole 15 kilos of whole grains, 36 kilos of raw fruits and vegetables, and 10 servings of omega-3, all of them in this very, very simple box. So we are saying that if this is the graph, when you use our Pro Vitality, this is what happens, that you will be vibrant until the day God calls you home. So you don't have to be sick for you don't have to get old and sick. And we are saying you can actually live and die because age has come and not because you're suffering from anything. So we are saying that our weight loss program is a very effective one. And it's effective because we are saying that it has got a sustained lifestyle for exercise, healthy eating, and mindfulness. So we are saying it is a total value one. Now, what are some of the challenges of being underweight? These are some of the challenges when you get underweight. And that's why I said you need to understand both that we have a weight management program, not just weight loss. So if you're underweight, if your BMI is below 18, you are bound to have a weakened immune system, which means any disease can just get you. Then your wounds heal very, very slowly, which means that you can get infections. If a wound is healing slowly, it means it is bound to get more germs. Then you've got irregular heart rhythms. Your heart rate is not as good. You are at a higher risk of heart attack. If it is women, they lack periods and get infertility. Actually, some ladies, because they are so underweight, they can't get a cycle and they don't know that something is wrong. Then it can lead to organic failure, fragile bones, and fatigue. Otherwise, then when you're overweight, you've got almost similar challenges. And we are saying you could get arthritis because it's like a very big body being supported by pins, which are just the size of the bones. You can get high blood pressure, and high blood pressure is very bad. If it's uncontrolled, it can lead to clots, which can be life-threatening. And when it leads to clots, you either get heart attack or a stroke. So if the heart, we call that a heart attack. And we actually say your first heart attack could be the last. So the best way is just to avoid it. Just forget about that thing and do something about it. Then weight can also give you cancer. Actually, we say weight has relatives. It is the one can give you cancer, diabetes. Some of us are infertile because of the weight, and not to mention the low self-esteem. You know, when you've got weight, especially, anytime somebody looks at you, you just feel they're looking at the badging side of your body. You sit with somebody who's got weight, and they're being told to pay for 2 seats. In Kenya, you're being told you're occupying 2 seats, so you pay 2 seats because no one can sit next to you. And it's very, very uncomfortable. So you've got very, very low self-esteem. Now, these are some of the challenges of being overweight. And I think you can see from that picture that that is a very big mass of body and their bones are really, really small. So these people will say they've got big bones. I've never seen an overweight bones, because this is exactly it. That body is too big, and you can get any of these diseases. So if anybody has got any of these challenges, before you even put them on other products, let them reduce that weight, because the weight could be the big issue. It can cause what we call inflammation. And the body aging process is facilitated by 2 things, inflammation and oxidation. And for us, we've got things that take care of the 2. The carotenoid takes care of oxidation, and the omega-3 that I showed you earlier takes care of inflammation. And that's how come you can have you can age gracefully with these products. Now, I just want to introduce us to the weight program. And we said the first thing you need to know your BMI, body mass index. At your height, what weight should you be? And that's why when you go to a doctor, they put you on a weighing scale, but they never tell you what they're doing. They're trying to check your BMI. You could also use, so if you put their figures that if you're below 19 or 18, you're underweight. 19 to 25 is normal. 25 to 29, you're overweight. And if you're over 30, that means you're obese. Obese means you seriously like immediately do something. There's also what we call waist to hip ratio, because sometimes the BMI can be slightly off because of the structures of our bodies. And so we are saying that if you use the waist and hip ratio, for men, it should not be more than 0.9 for men, and for ladies, it will be 0.8. So you can also use the waist to hip ratio. Now, the cost of obesity is too high. You cannot afford to have that challenge, because they are saying that most of the people who are obese, they are likely to incur costs. There's a financial implication for you being obese. Your well-being, it's going to cost you too much. And then not to think of all these diseases, heart disease, cancer, diabetes, chronic respiratory, how you look emotionally, physically, you're challenged. So the cost is too high compared to you being able to do something. In fact, they're saying non-obese people, 24% of them are more likely to thrive financially. So you can see obesity is even coming into our finances. And this is actually the problem. We call this a glycemic control zone. The part that is in blue is an insulin control zone. In other words, your body does not need to produce insulin unless you have either got too much sugar or less. So the red is when you've got too much sugar at the top, and it's when the sugar level has gone down. Now, how does this work? Insulin is found in a small organ called the pancreas, and that is the one that controls the sugar level. Now, what happens in the pancreas? If your sugar level is too low, it will produce very kidogo insulin. If it is high, the higher the insulin. So for example, you wake up in the morning, of course you have slept, you're very hungry. Here in Kenya, you can take a cup of tea, add some sugar, depending on where you come from, how much sugar, eat your white bread, maybe take a piece of sausage, and suddenly your sugar level is up here. Insulin, the body tells the insulin to produce this sugar level is too high, and because it's too high, too much insulin gets produced. And in the process, it lowers the sugar level right at the bottom. 10 o'clock, you're hungry. So 10 o'clock, you take a mandazi, samosa, and tea. Too much sugar, it goes off. So we call this a roller coaster. So all these peaks up here are sugar. And the only way the body can store any excess sugar is in form of fat. It does not have any other way. So that is one of the challenges. So weight is actually a sugar control issue. So our weight program is called glycemic control. And that word glycemic, the GLY is glucose and semic is blood. So it controls the sugar in the blood. That's why it's called glycemic control. And we call it squared because it's got exponential benefits. In other words, we are saying you could be there losing weight, but you're going to get other benefits, because if weight was your issue, probably also have pressure, probably also have diabetes, you probably have arthritis. And in the process of you getting rid of the weight, these other challenges will go. So it's got exponential benefits. So you not only lose weight, but you get other things that are sorted out. And what helps us to manage, this is one of the products called NutriShake or New Life Shake. And New Life Shake is a protein drink. It's got 18 grams of complete protein. It's got 25 minerals and vitamins, which means it's actually a complete meal itself. And then it's got fiber. Fiber actually regulates how your sugar behaves. Fiber behaves like a sponge in your body. So if you've got excess sugar, fiber soaks it in. If you've got less, it leaves it out. And then our product has no artificial colors, sweeteners, or preservatives. It's GMO free, and it promotes fat burning, because one of the things that happen when you put on weight, your body goes to storage mode other than burning fat. So instead of it burning fat to give you energy, it stores all the excess sugar. So you have to give your body energy from an external source. And that is actually where the problem comes in. And so we are saying our weight loss program is clinically proven, as in they put real people on a real test. You know, some products are tested on animals, ours are not. They only use human clinical tests to do our product. So we are saying with this program, you can actually lose weight, you can have reduced the body fat and size. Cardio protection just means your heart will work very well, and then lowered BMI, that you can lower your weight. So we recommend that New Life Shake and this Pro Vitality. And then this Pro Vitality has got enormous benefits: immune strength, cellular energy, anti-aging. We talked about the heart, the brain, the eye, I mean, fetal eye and brain is the child development. Every pregnant woman, the moment in fact, before they get pregnant, they must be on omega-3. Because when you get pregnant, the first part that forms is the brain. And challenges with the brain are very, very serious. So a person who is taking the fish oil not only helps themselves, but that child in there will grow very well, and their eyesight and brain development will be just on another level. And then, of course, it does well for hair, skin, and nails. That should be very good news for ladies, because we can spend any amount of money to just get there. And that is how you take your weight management program. You eat 5 times a day, and you must eat the 5 times, because if you take too long between your meals, you're going to get what we call a slowed metabolism. Metabolism is how food burns to give you energy. So you need to take breakfast. This is a shake. We've got different flavors. We've got chocolate, vanilla, and strawberry. So this glass represents one of the shakes. Usually you take 2 scoops and you take with a Pro Vitality. So that becomes your breakfast. This shake, you can actually mix it with other things. You can mix it with some fruits. You can actually mix it with fruits. You can actually even take oatmeal or porridge. You can mix it in this shake, 2 scoops and that porridge or oatmeal, a healthy thing. And then immediately after that, you take your Pro Vitality pack. Then we are saying, sorry, I think it has moved. And then from there, you take a snack at midday between 10 and 11. And there you can see something called the Neolife tea. And there is an energy bar. We don't have this bar in our country, but our Neolife tea we have. You can take that Neolife tea and something healthy. Or you could take what you wanted to take for breakfast. Maybe you wanted to take a cup of tea. You could actually take that cup of tea, but no sugar. You could put honey. And you can take wholemeal bread. You can take chapati. You can take fruit salad. The only thing about fruit salad, there are 3 fruits you should not add when you're on the weight program. Banana, mango, and avocado. Those are instant sugar. They put sugar into your bloodstream very, very fast. And that can give you a challenge. Then at lunchtime, we are saying take the shake. Then at 4 o'clock, take a snack. And then in the evening, eat a balanced dinner. A balanced dinner, we are saying half of your plate should be fruits and vegetables. If you don't have fruits, at least vegetables. And in Africa, we don't have an excuse for not having vegetables. We've got a lot of them. And then preferably eat white meat. White meat is fish, chicken, pig, rabbit. Those are white meats, not red meat. We discourage a lot of red meat because it will give us challenges. Then we talked about Neolife tea. Our Neolife tea is amazing. It's got 3 teas in one. It's got green, black, and white tea. Most people know only of green tea. They don't know about the black and the white. Ours has got all the 3. An amazing product that continuously burns fat as you go along. So you've got very, very good energy levels. And it helps your metabolism, especially the rate at which food burns to give you energy. It makes it very efficient. And those are just some of the things about the Neolife tea. Then another product you can add is fiber tablets. Fiber tablets regulate how much you can eat. We tend to eat until we feel full, not satisfied. I said when you eat until you're satisfied is when you have just had enough and you feel I'm okay. But we tend to eat until we feel full. Full is when you have no more space left in your system or your stomach. And so fiber tablets, what they do, they regulate how much you can eat, because our fiber tablets are amazing. It's got 2 fibers in one. It's got what we call soluble and insoluble. Fibers are 2 types. Soluble is the one you find in fruits, very, very soft. Insoluble is the one you can find like in grains, but ours has got the 2, maybe like nuts is insoluble. So what this fiber does, when you take 2 tablets, they swell to 50 times their size. So for those of us who are distributors, you could do this experiment. Just put some glass, half water, put some 2 fiber tablets. In half an hour, that whole bottom part will be filled up with fiber. That means you can only eat so little. Because you're already trying to cut down weight, you should not eat too much. So the fiber will regulate how much you eat. It will also control your sugar levels. And it will also help with a very good elimination because it helps to deal with the colon, which is the biggest place where everything is stored when it does not leave our bodies. And so it will help you not even develop colon cancer. And then it will also remove things like cravings. You know, like when we say take your tea without sugar, some people are not able, cravings will actually be able to go. And then you could also add, so that is what we talked about, intestinal function. It contributes to a feeling of wellness, and it can benefit in weight management. And then you take at least 4 tablets. We've got a new product that is a sugar control product called Botanical Balance, which is made out of spices, things like cumin, turmeric, cinnamon. And what this product does is totally controls the sugar levels. Remember I said that weight is a sugar issue. So all that excess sugar is what gets stored. So when you use Botanical Balance, it controls the sugar. And we say you take 4 tablets a day, two tablets before one of your main meals, two times 2 before 2 of your main meals. And so you're going to realize that your sugar levels are very controlled. One of the testimonies I have is of a client I gave whose sugar level was about 19. And when he went on normal diet, it came to 17. 3 weeks into taking botanical, that sugar level went to below 9. That was amazing because it tried to lose. And most of us, we actually really need this product. All of us were on this call. Why? If you don't have diabetes, you'll never get diabetes if you use this product. And I can tell you diabetes is a bad disease. Maybe one day we are going to cover it. And you understand, because it damages your liver, it damages the kidneys, it damages so many things in your system. So you don't want to go there. And most of us are pre-diabetic. You know, the challenge we have in Africa, especially, we don't go for medical tests because somebody is saying, I'm not feeling anything. So until you feel something is when you go, and that is a little bit too late. So botanical balance will balance your sugar levels, and it also removes cravings and hunger pangs. Hunger pangs is when you feel too hungry. So you cannot even control yourself on what to eat. Because if you're too hungry, then you eat anything to get full. So this will control the hunger pangs, and you're going to realize you really feel nice. It is a very good product to use for weight loss because, again, it controls the sugar levels. And then you can add amytone. Amytone is amino acid body toner. And because where the fat was needs to be toned up. Otherwise, you find people have lost weight, but they've got loose skin going everywhere. You know, some people say they've got things following them. After you have shaken the hand, there are still parts which are that shaking, especially for us women. And so amytone will help to burn the fat and convert it into energy. And it's also very good for lean development, very good for toning up muscles. And it depends on what you want to achieve. You can use amytone if you are doing exercise in the morning because it gives you sustenance. It just burns energy, it burns fat, turns it to energy. I remember one guy I gave it to called Cosmas Letty, is a very famous marathon runner for those of us who are a little bit older. And Cosmas Letty would use this product. He would take it like an hour before he goes to run. And it just gave him sustained energy for all the 42 kilometers. And at one time, he was really the top marathon runner in the world. So this product is amazing. And then for if you're using it to tone down, especially for the weight, you need to take it 2 to 3 hours after your last meal. So that means if you're sleeping at 9, you need to have fed by 6, latest by 7. Because if you take it immediately, you eat, it will burn the food and not work on you. So this product is amazing. It works as you sleep. So it will burn down fat. And when you wake up in the morning, very, very energetic. Men on the call, you can use it for increasing sperm count because some people are not able to make up a lady pregnant because of the low sperm count. There's a certain amount of sperms needed for you to fertilize an egg. And so if somebody has got that challenge of low sperm count, this product works extremely, extremely, very, very nicely. And those are some of the people who have been on the weight loss. This is when we were just launching this product. I remember this was in 2002. And you know, until you see somebody you know who has lost weight, you're always thinking it's another story from somewhere else. So these are real people, and that is me. In 6 months, I actually lost 16 kilos. I don't know if you can see how I look on that right-hand side. In fact, I remember this photo was taken at our end of year function we did at KICC in December 2019. And I just took this photo to remember that day. But the very following day, we went to church. And as we were getting into the car, my husband told me somebody had told him congratulations. And I asked him for what? He said, they're thinking you're expecting. I thought, oh my God. Even at one point, I thought they must be thinking I'm his mother. They could be asking, when is your mother going home? Because I just looked so bad. And I remember the very following day, which was on a Monday, I went and decided to shave off that hair and go to the gym because it was just too bad. In fact, one friend asked me, you are so big, you could even tuck. I mean, I've tucked in. It just looks like I'm some few months to give birth. And so when you have got weight, you look older, my face looks, oh my God. When I look at this picture, I can almost take off not thinking it is me. So it is an amazing program. It works if you work the program. You must have the discipline to eat the 5 meals. You must at least exercise 3 times a week. You'll choose your exercise. You need to take water, at least 8 glasses. For ladies, men can do up to 13. Because men's system is a little bit different from ours in the sense that men sweat a lot more. So because of that sweating, they need a little bit more water. So then they can do up to 13 glasses for the men. And then, of course, you're going to get what we call plateaus. So our weight loss program, you lose, then it stops, then you lose, and it stops. Those stopping places, we call them plateaus. And they're very necessary because if that doesn't happen, when you become big, even your internal organs become big. I don't know if you have heard of people whose hearts have grown bigger than the chamber in the heart. So those plateaus are for your system to adjust to the size you're becoming. And finally, let me say that our weight program will reduce both the fat and the kilos. So you reduce on the fat. The fat is where you feel the clothes are tight. And so when you go into your weight program, some things are bound to happen. For ladies, you could lose your bra size. You could lose your waist. Men lose up to their shoe size. So if that happens, it was not your weight, it was not part of you. And I think at this point, I want to stop there and invite Karaoke. I can see him on the call, and I think I'm done. Thank you very much. And I just hope that what I've shared will be beneficial. And just to say that this product helped me at one point, and we happened to lose our child, and they sorted me out. I didn't get depressed. And so I'm here today because Neolife products really do work. 25 years down the line, I'm healthy, I'm well. I'm now 55 this year. I don't even feel the age. I wake up at 4:30, I sleep at 10. I don't even need an alarm clock. And so I want to challenge the younger ones of you who sleep until 10 o'clock because these products just do an amazing job. And I just want to tell you that health is your greatest wealth. If you don't have health, you've got nothing. So here we teach you to get health, then get wealth and keep the two. And then finally to say that if you cannot take food as medicine, then you have to be prepared to take medicine as food. So you've got a choice, because some people say these products are expensive. Expensive compared to what? Imagine people fuel their car 20,000 a month, and a Pro Vitality of 6,500 is expensive. What do you mean? So a car is more important that we can replace tomorrow. And this body that has to carry out for the rest of our lives, we are not able to take care of it. I want to ask you a question. Between your rent and the food you eat, how much is more expensive? That shows you where your priority is. For the business, it's amazing. It's a good business. I said that boy was 5 years when I left the bank, turned 30 this year. In fact, he's about to get married. And then God gave us another daughter after we lost one, and she's now turning 20 this year. So this business is amazing. It can transform your life. You know, sometimes when I talk, people think I was born talking. I wasn't. It is just this business that has developed me. So Pierre Rose and Karaoke, I want to thank you for giving me the opportunity to talk to your team, to trust in me that I can talk to your team this evening. And God bless everybody on the call. And thank you very much for listening to me. Thank you.
Wow, thank you so much, Margaret. That is amazing. We cannot thank you enough. Thank you so much, and thank you for your time. That was such an amazing presentation, and
I want to know whether I should finish up.
I think Amulavu can't hear
me. Let me look at the chat and just see if there's something.